The Altars is a wildly absurd yet thoughtfully crafted resource management survival game that places a surprising emphasis on narrative. At first glance, it's a typical survival game where you collect resources on a desolate planet and maintain your base. However, the story takes an unexpected turn as the protagonist, Jan Dolsky, creates alternate versions of himself with one objective: survive the deadly sun and escape the planet in one piece. Feeling more like a wild pitch for a movie than a video game, but one that works exceptionally well for the most part. The story begins dramatically with Jan's mining ship crashing on an isolated, creepy planet on a flight for the expedition Project Dolly and discovering all his crew members have died in the crash. As the last survivor, you must navigate this planet's eerie and chilling landscape to survive, all while extracting various resources and maintaining your base, which looks like a sci-fi Ferris wheel. Wandering around the planet's beautifully crafted environments, you encounter vicious waters, murky caves, and cubist terrain, all of which maintain this feeling of isolation and make the world feel eerie and mysterious through your journey. Throughout the game, your primary objective is to escape this isolated planet while avoiding the deadly sunrise that will destroy you and your base. Here you can communicate back to Earth, build new tools, food and structures, and rest for the day. After learning these fundamentals, we're introduced to the game's unique aspect, the altars themselves. In order to survive, you must create branching clones of yourself, referred to as altars. Although they appear identical to Jan, they possess modified memories with branching paths, resulting in specialists with stat buffs for various tasks, like a scientist, botanist, or even a doctor. For instance, while Jan ran away from his father at 19, one of his altars stood up to his father and became a technician instead. Much like Jan's initial reaction to this Frankenstein science, I was bewildered by the premise and I thought it was crazy to witness firsthand. However, this concept of branching yourself and altering the perspective on one's life beautifully encapsulates the themes of identity, life, and how different outcomes can unfold based on one's decisions, and allows for a masterfully crafted experience. I loved navigating through each of the altars' lives and seeing how they changed from Jan's original choices to tell a personal story that branches out in unexpected ways, which I never anticipated. While it takes a moment to process, it's a thrilling idea that works incredibly. The altars can help out as crewmates on your base or assist in resource extraction outside. And the branching paths provide almost endless possibilities, offering a unique and incredible approach to the simulation genre. Alongside helping with Jan's journey, you as the player must regularly engage in conversations with the altars to improve connections with them. You must choose different dialogue options that can make the altars feel at ease or lead to rebellion, which could backfire later and lead to devastating or deadly consequences. I realized how real the emotions of each altar are expressed, as they can impact their relationships with one another, create conflicts, and reveal personal issues to Jan and the rest of his crew. I particularly enjoyed the conflicts between the technician and the scientist. The scientist focuses more on the work and criticizes the technician for being lacking and more emotional. When talking to both of them, you realize they share more common ground than they initially think, allowing for reconciliation that visibly unfolds in the base as you play. Speaking of which, I appreciated the impressive attention to detail in the animations, allowing you to see the altars going about their daily lives while you tackle your daunting tasks. I did, however, notice a rare glitch every once in a while with these animations, but it wasn't anything that broke the overall experience, and I still loved the effort that went into the everyday lives of the altars. The voice actors help with this to convey raw emotions remarkably, making the altars feel more human than expected. You can also form stronger connections with altars by engaging in frequent conversations, participating in minigames in a social room, giving them trinkets found out in the grim planet, and ensuring their happiness and satisfaction. This progress rewards you with lessons learned from them, teaching Jan essential leadership skills such that it is okay to say no instead of always agreeing to tasks, and promoting discipline as the base's leader. It's ironic how it shapes a better version of yourself through alternate versions of yourself. Nonetheless, witnessing these developments is astonishing while still feeling emotionally resonant, which speaks to the quality of the dialogue, narrative writing, and voice acting. Another key aspect of the game is maintaining your base and ensuring that you have enough resources to stay safe from the deadly sunrise. This feature is reminiscent of Fallout Shelter and is introduced in an easy to digest manner. You will slowly learn about the available rooms, from storage rooms to refineries and greenhouses. You'll also learn how to assign altars to each room and how to extract resources from the outside world. Venturing outside on the bizarre planet allows you to collect resources to fuel your base and help you progress further, including finding the elusive rupidium, which allows you to create the altars and is considered a material with limitless possibilities on planet Earth. The game gives you an excellent rewarding method to finding new resource mines and areas of interest. By discovering a material deposit and scanning around it with probes, you can create a mining deposit that you and the altars can return to mine resources continuously and act as a fast travel point, which becomes useful later on if you mess up your sleeping schedule with overexhaustion. To connect it to the base, you must connect pylons, which allows you to store the resources. The pylons can also be intertwined with each other, allowing for strategic thinking on where each one should be placed to improve your efficiency. You must also monitor Yarn's radiation levels while exploring outside or colliding with anomalies that you can encounter on your journey, which if exposed to too much radiation can lead to Yarn getting injured or potentially dying. There are even special resource areas with heightened radiation which add a higher sense of risk to how much you should mine them. Luckily, there are ways to work around these problems, like being able to eliminate the anomalies later on, but those resources are essential to continuously refilling the base with new radiation shields, suit batteries, and repair kits when something breaks, as one minor slip up could cost you your life or your altars. While all of this may seem manageable, you also have to make sure you're keeping an eye on Yarn himself, as he has an energy bar that drains quickly when collecting materials outside, working on tasks within the base, or even engaging in fun activities like beer pong or watching a movie with the altars. This aspect introduces a time management element where, simply put, if Yarn runs out of energy and gets exhausted, he will wake up later the next day, sacrificing time that could have been spent reaching safety. This approach to energy takes the term time is money literally and acts as arguably the most essential resource you need to manage, as staying up too late or not paying attention to your energy bar can cause Yarn to faint and even put the other altars at risk of radiation and injury. While managing your base and altars, you can also communicate with people back on Earth who work for the mysterious organization Ally Corp, including their leader Maxwell, the real Yarn's ex-wife Lena, and other members of Ally Corp like Lucas. Most of the dialogue guides you on what to do next, helping you discover what happened to your mining ship and your former crew, learning more about rupidium and its capabilities, and inciting you to collect rare materials, particularly the elusive radium, which Maxwell and Lucas insist you collect as much as possible. I was invested in all the conversations had between Yarn and Ally Corp and couldn't stop listening to the beautifully crafted dialogue and fantastic voice acting performances that give this realistic dialogue feel in tone with the wild narrative that's unfolding, while still providing a personal touch in moments from Lena and a standout performance from Geralt of Rivia himself, Doug Cockle, as the leader of the organization, who makes you question if his intentions are more for extracting rupidium, making you question the ethics of the altars and how they're created, or if he really has your best interests in mind for surviving this terrible situation. While your primary task is made clear and consistent throughout, there can be points where all the tasks can be challenging to keep up with. You'll receive different tasks from members of Ally Corp, which range from storing more rupidium and building new structures, or tools to progressing through the mysterious planet, while also getting surprise tasks from altars to resolve conflicts, ensuring you're keeping them all physically and mentally fit. All of these tasks can eventually pile up if you're not careful, which can result in a more stressful experience. It makes total sense given the stakes at hand for Yarn and his altars, but there were times when it felt too overwhelming and daunting, to the point where it felt more like a catch-up game of tasks while still having enough time to crew. This occasionally led me to forget which materials I needed to craft, resulting in my inevitable death on more than one occasion. Despite this, if you're able to keep up to date on your tasks and manage everything well, the altars can feel incredibly satisfying and provide a compelling balance between exploring the environment, mining resources, building your base, interacting with your altars, and making new ones to improve efficiency and access new resources and equipment. The Altars is an excellent survival game that allows for an outstanding balance between exploring the beautifully crafted world and complementing Jan Dolsky's bizarre story while collecting resources, maintaining your base, and working towards your next objective. It incorporates arguably the craziest approach to the simulation genre I've ever seen. It feels like watching a fun alternative cut of The Martian, in which Matt Damon can clone himself into alternative characters like Will Hunting and Donnie from Eurotrip. While there are times when the barrage of tasks can be challenging to navigate and time is of the essence for you and almost your impossible goal, it's such a joy to play when it all just clicks. Every interaction you have with each of the altars feels personal despite their altered memories, and crafts some genuinely riveting moments that help shape the game as a strange yet emotional journey that I won't be forgetting anytime soon. I highly recommend this game to those who love well-designed resource management or simulation games, well-written narratives, well-developed characters, and fans of survival games or sci-fi settings. I'd also argue fans of story-driven RPGs would get a kick out of all the fantastic dialogue and interactions between Jan and his alters, as they make for such a rewarding and insightful look into the human experience and the importance of one's decisions. On the other hand, it might be difficult to recommend if you're not a fan of managing lots of resources and crewmates while juggling the tasks at hand. Additionally, the sci-fi aesthetic may not be everyone's cup of tea. Thank you for watching. Please let us know what you think of the game in the comments and subscribe to discover more new games to play.